Donald Trump has been the president since January, and it is important to understand the priorities of this government so you can use it for your EB2 NIW case. Hi, my name is Oscar, and here with Marina, even though we are not lawyers, we do cover EB2 NIW and EB1A green cards in which you can be the owner of your immigration future, because you can do it without a company sponsoring you and also without hiring a lawyer if you choose to do so, saving thousands of dollars. We talk about that here in this channel, in our websites, and of course in our specialized courses where we teach you step by step how to craft your EB2 NIW or EB1A petition. So let's start with today's video, which is about NIW, National Interest Waiver. And we have a previous video where we cover 5 interesting areas for a National Interest Waiver case related to those priorities that the government has. It is good to keep up with those because in NIW, the proposed endeavor and why that proposed endeavor, that professional mission is important, plays a big role in the potential success of a case. So in today's video, we're going to review a few more areas or expand on a few of the areas we already talked about in that recent video, so you can benefit from it, or at least we can help you understand where you can get these documents from so you are ready to do your own due diligence. We understand that not everyone will be covered by the areas we may discuss in this channel, but you need to understand what are your tools, the tools at your disposal, so you can do that job. And of course, you can go to the White House website, you can go to the different agencies to understand what those priorities are. But I like the CNN website. If you Google CNN executive orders, they are tracking all the executive orders from Donald Trump. They have classified them in different topics, and you can even browse by the topic, by the date. You can search. It's pretty nice. Of course, this covers executive orders only, and remember that when it comes to priorities, here in this video we're covering mostly executive orders. We are going to see a few examples of other documents from federal agencies, but you should also go and check congress.gov because those are laws of Congress that also are typically less affected by changes in administrations, okay? So let's keep going and let's start with what we are going to cover in terms of areas. We're going to see things related to timber, which is surprising to me. When I was reviewing the executive orders, I found a couple of them that talk about this. We also we'll continue discussing energy independence in particular, and we are going to cover human health, which we didn't cover that much last day. So let's start with timber industry, because there are a couple of recent orders from March 1st where they cover, in general, resource management, which was something we already discussed in our previous video. I have here the couple of examples about that topic, but now we're going to cover timber in particular. But even when we see those orders about timber, we will see that there's always, in this kind of documents, there's always things for more areas or more generic areas than the actual protagonist, which in this case is timber. Okay, so for example, here is a few snippets of the first executive order, and it says how the production of timber, lumber, paper, bioenergy, and other wood products is critical to the nation. So those things already strongly indicate that this is a priority and the criticality of it. And we also see how it's not only about timber, it's about a wide range or a wider range of resources. And then it also covers forest management and wildfire risk reduction projects. And that is something that we discussed in the last video, because there were a couple of executive orders focusing a lot on the California problems with wildfires. And here in this order, Donald Trump is directing the Secretary of Interior to improve the speed of approving forestry projects. So this is a clear indication that they care about this type of resource management. And they need to issue new or updated guidance regarding tools to facilitate increased timber production and sound forest management, reduce time to deliver timber, and decrease timber supply uncertainty. So good stuff for those of you who can craft, based on your experience, your strengths, can craft a proposed endeavor about, in general, natural resources management, but especially about wood products and even bioenergy and all those things. And then here we see a few things from the other executive order where it says wood products composed of timber, lumber, and their derivatives such as paper products, furniture, cabinetry is a critical manufacturing industry essential to the national security, economic strength, and industrial resilience of the United States. So they're even giving you the ammunition to argue for your case more effectively. One of these quotes could very well be used in an EB2 NIW case in a portion of the section. In our course, we teach you exactly how to use these kind of things and how to structure this, but I could see some use here for someone that is in this area. Wood products, they say, are a key input used in civilian construction industry and military. Each year, the US military spends over $10 billion on construction. So here they are drawing the dots between timber industry and national security, because they are talking about the army and the military industry. So this is very important. It's really making it clear that Donald Trump and his government really cares about this industry.
So let's take a quick break to introduce you to our multiple resources that we offer in our websites. This is our website for EB2 NIW, where you can find a lot of information about this category, and above all the resources, we encourage you to join our EB2 NIW course for self-petitioners, where we teach you everything you need to know about the petition and how to write the cover letter, fulfilling the matter of Danazar, preparing your recommendation letters, getting ready a professional or a business plan, and we even teach you how to put together the package to send it to UCIS. You can submit your questions in each lesson, and once a month we have a live session with the course members where you can meet us face-to-face and ask us any doubt you have.
Let's now move to energy independence. We knew before Donald Trump was inaugurated that this would be a topic, energy in general would be a topic that would be really high priority for this government. And here I want to share an example of a recent executive order from February 14th, where they established the National Energy Dominance Council, and also a different type of, because it's not all about executive orders, a different type of document. This is a speech. So this is taken from the Department of Energy website. And here the new Secretary of Energy is basically giving the initial speech when he took office. And I took it because he outlines a few priorities, and it's always good to look at those kinds of speeches. This is in line with what we covered in our previous video, where we discussed this executive order on unleashing American energy and declaring a national energy emergency. So this adds on to those orders. So here is the executive order for today. It says that we must expand all forms of reliable and affordable energy production to drive down inflation, grow our economy, create good paying jobs, re-establish American leadership in manufacturing, lead the world in artificial intelligence, and restore peace through strength by wielding our commercial and diplomatic levers to end wars across the world. So it's not only saying, we care about energy, but it's also outlining why they care about energy independence. It has an economic component, but it also has a national security component here. And it also tells us what kinds of energy they are mostly interested on. Crude oil, natural gas, least condensates, natural gas liquids, refined petroleum products, uranium, coal, biofuels, geothermal heat, the kinetic movement of flowing water, and critical minerals. So really it covers a lot. And this is great to see, because now this is really useful for people across different industries, okay? This is from the speech from the Secretary of Energy. In the speech, he said that they want to unleash commercial nuclear power, nuclear energy, and he says we've got to get nuclear energy going again. We need to strengthen the grid, reliability, and security. We need to make our grid more stable and stop the rise in electricity prices. And finally, he talks about the next generation of, again, nuclear fission energy and geothermal. So, and I just picked a few examples, okay? Basically to show you how you can get into these kind of speeches and look for things that may be interesting to you. And remember that, of course, your proposed endeavor shouldn't be just crafted based on what you find. It should be crafted based on your strengths, your experience, what you can contribute to, what problem can you help solve in one of these niche sectors. Finally, let's cover human health, which is something new that we didn't cover in the last video, because we also have a new Secretary of Human Health, of course, and they are starting to publish orders about this topic, making America healthy again by empowering patients with clear, accurate, and actionable healthcare pricing information, establishing the President's Make America Healthy Again Commission, and then here I have a different type of, those were orders, and here I have a different type of document also to show you the diversity of documents we can look for, taken from the Human Health Services Administration website, and where we have that Secretary Kennedy directs FDA to explore rulemaking to eliminate pathway for companies to self-affirm food ingredients are safe. So this is just to show you that they are worried about food, they are worried about human health. Of course, these are always priorities of all governments, and they are starting to generate documentation that you could potentially use. So this from one of the orders where it says, during my first term, my administration, so here Trump is going on and on about all the good stuff he did, according to him, in the first term. And now he says, for far too long, prices were hidden from patients and employers. And as much as $80 billion in healthcare savings for consumers, employers, and insurers by 2025 could be saved if they implement transparency measures and kind of regulate the way things are done in this industry. So they can reduce healthcare costs by 27% across 500 common healthcare services. So I wanted to show you this to show you that, you know, they want to have this more transparent pricing information in the healthcare industry, but also in this kind of orders, sometimes they give you figures, they give you numbers that you could actually use in your own arguments for your NIW if you are in this field and you can contribute to this. For example, you have a proposed endeavor that will help the US have a healthcare system that is more transparent, where companies have to be competing in a transparent way, lowering the cost for all Americans. And here we have a little bit more on this. It says that American life expectancy significantly lags behind other countries. 6 in 10 Americans have at least one chronic disease. 1 in 5 US adults lives with a mental illness. Autism, spectrum disorders, autoimmune diseases such as inflammatory bowel disease, psoriasis, and multiple sclerosis are more common. This applies urgently to Americans' children. And then, so that's the problem statement. You know, we have all these healthcare problems or all these health problems in America. Then it goes on about what to do. We must redirect our national focus in the public and private sectors toward understanding and drastically lowering chronic disease rates and ending childhood chronic disease. So I like this kind of thing because it gives you, again, a lot of stuff to choose from in terms of what kind of diseases. It talks about specific problems, but also it talks about what to do. And it not only talks about the administration, which a lot of executive orders usually focus on, but it includes the private sector, which is nice for all of you who are contributing in that sector instead of working for the administration. And here, finally, we have some stuff from Secretary Kennedy, where they say that, you know, they want to promote radical transparency to make sure all Americans know what is in their food. So previously we covered transparency in the healthcare industry, hospitals and all that. And now is the same about food. So you know what you're eating, basically. So it says, for far too long, ingredient manufacturers and sponsors have exploited a loophole that has allowed new ingredients and chemicals, often with unknown safety data, to be introduced into the US food supply without notification to the FDA. Again, if you are working in the food industry and you have a proposed endeavor that relates to this type of problem. Maybe finding alternatives, maybe alternative food colorings to those that now the US administration is going to be targeting, or other types of additives that now are going to probably be regarded as unsafe, and you are developing new ones. Maybe this is good information for you to understand. But I also want to finish this video with a few conclusions that are important. Remember that EB2 NIW is not just about finding executive orders, laws, speeches, government documents. This is just one small part of the process. What really matters is ask yourself, what can I contribute to those priority areas? Okay, I know those areas are important. I know there are problems in those areas. What can I do to help them solve those problems? What innovation can I bring to the table? Because remember that in EB2 NIW, like I said earlier, what matters is your proposed endeavor. What are you going to do in the US? What are you going to do to help them solve a particular problem? Are you going to innovate? If you're going to do a day-to-day kind of job that doesn't have broader impacts, that's not a good proposed endeavor. That is a job that should be sponsored by a company in a regular process. NIW is about waiving the regular process, so you have to show that you are an exceptional individual that will do exceptional things, therefore will impact more people than just your own customers or clients or your company's customers and clients. Okay, you will have that extra benefit. So now is your turn. What did you think about these areas? Are you surprised by them? Did you know about this? And do you want us to continue doing this periodic review of what's going on with Trump? I know there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of news. All the time we are seeing Donald Trump talking to the press. So sometimes it's hard to really understand what is really going on in terms of priorities. So let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts? And until the next video, thank you for watching and good luck.